Iceye hits €10 billion plus valuation on €450 million round. The valuation jump looks frothy until you examine the defense backlog. Early investors unloading shares worth more than the primary round tells you the cap table is resetting before the next hardware generation flies. General Atlantic is betting the real margin sits in exclusive data contracts rather than satellite sales. This forces Planet Labs to either license SOW feeds or accelerate its own radar roadmap by mid-2026, or risk losing key defense contracts to SAR specialists. NewOrbit raises $18.5 million for VLEO satellites. Lower orbits demand constant replacement cycles yet deliver latency low enough to challenge fiber in rural corridors. Atmospheric drag is the hidden variable most coverage ignores. Each satellite lasts barely 2 years under constant drag, so unit economics only work if launch costs keep falling 30% further. Voyager's bet hinges on NEO 1 proving the economics before the first birds deorbit. Starlink will need to test VLEO prototypes within 18 months or seed low-latency niches to these smaller constellations. Powerex secures $30 million chips for PA fab expansion. Defense priorities will claim most new lines, leaving industrial buyers to absorb longer lead times. The chips money targets packaging specifically, a bottleneck that has kept even qualified US wafers heading overseas for assembly. Packaging capacity has been the real constraint, not wafer production, for the past 3 years. Wolfspeed must now decide whether to match the in-state expansion or watch its auto customers migrate to the new domestic capacity within 2 years. Reset closes $6 million seed for earned wage access. Credit unions gain a tool that sidesteps the fees larger banks pay to payroll processors. The embedded approach keeps the advance inside the member's account rather than routing through an app. Smaller banks have long wanted this capability without building it themselves. This forces Earnin to either white label its service for community banks or watch its addressable market shrink as smaller institutions roll out their own versions by next year. Cosmos lands $5 million seed for IT operational intelligence. Support teams finally get a view that connects ticket volume directly to infrastructure spend without another dashboard. Norwest's check suggests the market for IT ops intelligence has room beyond the big monitoring suites. The real test comes when these tools hit existing SLA reporting requirements. Mid-size IT groups have been underserved by platforms built for massive scale. Datadog will have to bundle similar workflow features or risk losing mid-market engineering budgets that prefer point solutions over broad platforms. Rejuvenate Bio closes $6 million financing round. Merck Animal Health's involvement points to immediate testing in dogs and cats, rather than waiting for human approvals. Gene therapies that clear safety in pets can move to trials faster than traditional paths allow. Expect the first commercial veterinary product from this work inside 18 months. That timeline undercuts pure human-focused biotechs still stuck in preclinical. Larger players now face a choice between licensing similar tech or building their own animal programs from scratch before data advantages compound. Google Cloud executes quiet layoffs across teams. Security response times at Google Cloud are likely to slip as Mandiant expertise walks out the door. Threat intelligence updates that once came daily will stretch to weekly gaps. Enterprise customers bound by strict SLAs now have reason to evaluate Microsoft or AWS alternatives during renewal talks. The moves accelerate a shift already underway in regulated industries. Watch for deal win rates to move against Google within 2 quarters once procurement teams run side-by-side comparisons. Apple debuts new parental controls at WWDC. Developers face new build requirements to support Apple's expanded family sharing and screen time hooks. Compliance work that used to sit in one toggle now demands separate user flows and data handling. Smaller teams will deprioritize family features first to protect their core release cycles. That hands more ground to established players who already maintain multiple compliance branches. Expect the App Store's family category growth to slow measurably by this time next year. Oracle cuts over 500 Bay Area jobs. Bay Area cuts land mostly in database support and migration services rather than new cloud features. Customers running older Oracle systems will see longer wait times for upgrade assistance starting this quarter. That friction speeds up decisions to move workloads elsewhere during contract reviews. AWS and Azure migration teams are already staffing up for the expected influx. Look for on-premise revenue to drop faster than guidance once transitions begin. Meta plans 3,000 Bay Area layoffs in July. 3,000 roles disappearing in July removes capacity from ad infrastructure and privacy engineering teams. Projects tied to regulatory compliance in Europe will stretch timelines as remaining staff absorb the work. Smaller ad tech firms gain from the sudden availability of experienced people at lower negotiation power. That dynamic compresses salaries across the region for similar skill sets over the next year. Expect project velocity on core products to suffer visible delays by fall. LinkedIn to slash over 500 jobs regionally. The regional focus on Sunnyvale and Mountain View hits LinkedIn's sales engineering groups hardest. Microsoft now has to decide whether to accelerate the shift of those capabilities to its own cloud Salesforce or accept slower iteration on enterprise features through next year. Either path raises the odds that smaller competitors pick up mid-market accounts that value fast feature releases. Watch for Indeed and ZipRecruiter to target those accounts with aggressive pricing in the next 2 quarters. Cisco continues global workforce reductions. Earnings strength hasn't stopped the headcount math from forcing another round of reductions across multiple divisions. Channel partners now carry more of the post-sale support load, which will compress Cisco's services attach rate once the remaining teams prioritize new logos over renewals. That shift shows up in margin reports by the end of next fiscal year. Competitors like Arista and Juniper stand to gain from any dip in customer satisfaction tied to slower support response. Semiconductor equipment billings rise 14% YoY. Growth concentrated in back-end assembly gear signals that foundries are preparing for higher volumes of multi-die chips rather than single large processors. Equipment makers will see follow-on orders for maintenance services that carry higher margins than the initial tool sales. Those service contracts become the real profit driver once utilization rates climb through 2026. Smaller chip designers must now secure capacity guarantees earlier or risk losing allocation to larger players by early 2027. CHIPS Act supports multiple U.S. manufacturing projects. Federal incentives are now flowing into power module and analog device lines instead of just leading-edge logic. This broadens the domestic supply chain beyond the big foundry projects and reduces import reliance for automotive and industrial customers. Suppliers of specialty chemicals and substrates will see steady order growth as those facilities ramp through 2026. That ramp timeline gives existing U.S. module makers like Wolfspeed a window to lock in long-term supply deals before new entrants scale. Enterprise software firms announce minor updates. The updates focus on tighter links between existing modules rather than new standalone capabilities. Customers who adopt the integrations will face higher switching costs once their procurement workflows sit inside one vendor's data model. Smaller pure-play vendors lose ground on deals that now require custom API work to match the bundled experience. Expect Salesforce and ServiceNow to copy the integration pattern within 2 quarters to avoid losing ground on the same accounts. Hardware manufacturing investments accelerate. Equipment lead times for lithography tools just stretched another quarter because every new fab is bidding against the same 3 vendors. The funding number is the sideshow. The real story is how quickly these plants can qualify for defense subcontracts without foreign IP. By Q4 2025, that qualification gap will force Samsung to decide whether to license its process or watch US primes shift orders to Intel. Component buyers should lock pricing now. Gadget accessory makers prep fall launches. Retailers are already cutting orders for last year's wireless earbud cases because the new SKUs carry 30% higher Bluetooth silicon costs. The holiday push hides a margin squeeze that hits accessory makers first, not the big brands. Watch what happens to average selling prices once these shipments clear customs in September. Logitech will have to either absorb the hit or raise prices on its own cases. Smaller makers lack the volume to negotiate better chip deals. Big tech strategy shifts focus to efficiency. Oracle just told its sales teams to stop chasing deals below $500,000 annual contract value. The restructuring memos say headcount will stay flat, yet the quota changes effectively shrink the addressable market by a third. That leaves mid-market customers hunting for alternatives, and Workday gains the opening to steal those logos before year-end. Expect churn rates to climb at smaller ERP vendors who relied on that segment for growth. Key startup seed activity remains steady. Most of these rounds closed at flat or down rounds from 2023 levels, yet the cap tables show more angels taking board observer seats. The real signal sits in the liquidation preferences. Founders are giving up 1.5 preferences to close at the same headline numbers. That structure will bite when the next priced round arrives in 18 months and forces a down round anyway. Operational tools startups feel it first because their revenue ramps stay slow. M&A activity quiet in core tech sectors. Hardware acquirers are skipping the auction process entirely and going straight to bilateral talks with 2 or 3 targets. The quiet period tells you the sellers are holding out for better terms once interest rates ease in 2025. Cisco's integration team is already idle, which means any deal that does close will land at a 20% lower multiple than last year's comps. Software infrastructure sellers face the same pressure on earnouts.